The crowd laughed as Jake pulled up to the car meet in his rusty old muscle car. The paint was faded, the bumper dented, and the engine sputtered as he parked. "Wow," a girl's voice sneered. "Did that thing survive the dinosaur age?" It was Emily, the influencer who'd arrived in a gleaming luxury car, camera in hand, ready to mock whatever didn't sparkle. Jake just smiled, wiping his hands on his oil-stained rag. "Maybe," he said quietly. "But it still has a little life left." The others chuckled. Emily pulled out her phone, recording. "Go ahead, old-timer. Let's hear this thing die." Jake slid into the driver's seat. He turned the key once. The car roared to life, a deep, thunderous growl that silenced the laughter instantly. The ground vibrated beneath their feet. Emily's jaw dropped. Jake revved it again, the engine singing like raw power wrapped in memory. Then, with a smile, he turned it off. "This car," he said softly, "belonged to my dad. He built it before he passed away. I've been restoring it, piece by piece, with what little I earn at the shop." Silence fell over the crowd. Emily lowered her phone. "I didn't know," she whispered. Jake smiled gently. "Most people don't, they just see the rust." That night, Emily deleted the video she'd planned to post, and instead shared his story. For the first time, her followers weren't laughing, they were listening. Jake pulled into the car meet with his heart pounding harder than his engine. His old muscle car rattled as it rolled into the lot, faded paint, rusted doors, and an exhaust that coughed like an old man. But to Jake, it was priceless. It wasn't just a car. It was his father's dream. The last thing they'd built together before cancer took him. Every scratch told a story. Every dent held a memory. He parked beside a row of polished luxury cars. Phones came out instantly, recording, laughing. Then came the voice that stung the most. "Wow," a girl said, grinning for her camera. "Did he drive that thing straight out of a junkyard?" Her name was Emily, an influencer with 1 million followers and a brand new sports car. Jake recognized her. She thrived on attention. He smiled faintly, resisting the urge to snap back. "It's got more heart than it looks," he said quietly. "Prove it," she challenged. "Start it up." He turned the key. The engine came alive with a thunderous growl, deep, powerful, pure American muscle. The sound rolled through the lot, shaking the ground and silencing every laugh. Emily's smile faded, her phone lowering slowly. Jake stepped out. "My dad and I rebuilt this together," he said softly. "Every paycheck, every night after work. It's the only part of him I have left." For once, she had no comeback, just tears welling in her eyes. Later that night, Emily uploaded a different video. Not mocking him, but celebrating him, his hard work, his love, his story. It went viral, not for glamour, but for gratitude. And when Jake saw the comments, one line stood out most. "That's not rust. That's legacy." Emily loved attention. The shine of her new car, the clicks of her camera, the flood of comments that told her she was living the dream. But that night at the car meet, she realized just how shallow that dream had become. She spotted him immediately, grease-stained hands, worn-out boots, an old rusted muscle car that looked completely out of place among the polished chrome and LED lights. Perfect content, she thought, already framing her shot. "Did that thing survive the Stone Age?" she joked loudly, her followers laughing in the stream chat. The man, Jake, just smiled politely. No anger. No defense. Just quiet grace. Then he started the car. The sound that erupted wasn't noise, it was soul. A deep, roaring heartbeat that silenced every giggle in the lot. It wasn't just an engine, it was emotion made mechanical. When Jake explained the story, how it was his late father's car, how he'd been restoring it piece by piece after his shifts, something inside her cracked. The camera in her hand suddenly felt heavy, wrong. That night she didn't upload a mocking clip. Instead, she sat alone in her apartment and replayed his words. "Most people just see the rust." For the first time, she didn't see rust either. She saw love, loss, and loyalty, things money couldn't buy or filters couldn't fake. A week later, she went back to the same lot, this time without her camera. She found Jake under the hood of another car and said softly, "Need a hand?" He smiled. "Always." And that's how a girl chasing fame found something real: respect. A year later, the same parking lot looked different. The laughter that once mocked had turned into cheers and camera flashes, not of ridicule, but of respect. Jake's old muscle car now gleamed under the sunlight, restored to perfection. The rust was gone, but the memories remained. Beside it stood a new banner: "The Rust to Rise Garage, helping people rebuild more than cars." Emily had kept her word. After that night, she began visiting Jake's small shop every weekend, learning about engines, grit, and humility. Her audience, once obsessed with luxury and lifestyle, started following a new story: the mechanic who built hope out of metal. Together, they turned his old workshop into a community garage. Single parents, veterans, and struggling teens came to learn free auto repair skills. Emily used her platform to raise funds and share stories, while Jake taught with patient hands and an open heart. One day, a young boy hesitated at the door, holding a photo of a dusty old car. "It was my dad's," he whispered. "I just wanted to run again." Jake looked at Emily, smiling softly. "We can help," he said. As the boy's car roared to life weeks later, tears glistened in his eyes. Emily filmed that moment, not for views, but for truth. When she uploaded it, the caption read, "Some things aren't meant to shine on the outside. They shine when someone believes in them." The video went viral again, but this time, for the right reason. And Jake realized something beautiful. His father's car hadn't just come back to life. It had brought others back with it.